Welcome back to Everyday Health Hacker, Dr. Liza Leal. And this week we're going to be talking about fibromyalgia. And many of you may have heard that the doctor can't figure out what's going on, so they just diagnose you with fibromyalgia. We're going to dig deep today into it and find some solutions for you, a family member, a loved one. So stay tuned and learn more today. We hope that you'll subscribe, comment, and like.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Everyday Health Hacker. I'm Mike Herzing, and this nice young lady next to me is Dr. Liza Leal.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Everyday Health Hacker and the podcast that is sponsored by Meridian Health Institute, powered by Meridian Medical Dental Healthcare, or vice versa, Meridian Medical Dental Healthcare, powered by Meridian Health Institute. We are here for you, your needs, and want to be your medical and dental resource of information.
And today just might be the best day of your life because Dr. Leal is Chief Medical Officer right here at Meridian Health Institute in Sugar Land, Texas. And our goal is right here to provide you with that one nugget that's going to help you with your health and lifestyle choices. And actually, it's kind of vice versa because lifestyle is your health and health is your lifestyle. And changing one little thing, because it's worked for me and it's helped me and it's helped everybody here.
Right.
I mean, it's really good. And people send in a lot of questions to her in the office here, and she looks at every single one of them. And we've got a lot of questions. And one of the questions this week is fibromyalgia. Now, we're not going to have a test on how to spell it, but
Fibromyalgia.
It's a tough one. It's been very controversial. People say, oh, I've got this fibromyalgia. It means I hurt all over. My skin hurts. Everything hurts.
And why is that? So number one, a lot of times when men or women go to the doctor and they're hurting all over, a lot of doctors will just say, hey, it's fibromyalgia and put you on a medication that'll probably make you dizzy, sleepy, and not feel very well. So one of the things that we're going to talk about is what is fibromyalgia and what are the things that you can do. So this is a two-part series on fibromyalgia. Okay. So, take a look at that playlist because we have a lot on pain management. And the first thing to know about fibromyalgia and why they will say that, hey, this is fibromyalgia. Number one, they used to diagnose it by just doing a physical exam. And then about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, they decided that there's this protein that they can look at, which, is an expensive expensive test that they can test if you have fibromyalgia. It's almost easier to diagnose rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, or rheumatological illness. And just because you have a diagnosis of fibromyalgia doesn't mean that you don't really have one of these other types of illnesses that are rheumatological, autoimmune conditions. And the key is that we have to discover which one that is. Fibromyalgia is a diagnosis of exclusion. So that means we've ran all the tests, nothing is positive, so they're going to come up with the word fibromyalgia. And it is an oversensitization of pain signals to your brain that is saying that you are in pain all over. Many patients will say, even if my kids hug me, it hurts. So my skin hurts. Well, there's actually a process that chemically is happening between the body, the brain, and the blood system that is sending these pain signals out, and we need to tone that channel down.
So it's amplifying everything.
Amplifying.
Okay, so basically, if everything hurts you that you do, it's like the old joke is like, doctor, it hurts when I touch this or touch that and touch this, and they go, what is it? And you have a broken finger.
Yes, and don't do it. Don't stop doing that.
Right. So it's one of those kind of things. Okay, so if everything is bothering you, not just your leg is sensitive, or not just your arm sensitive,
but your body hurts and aches. So one of the things is, a lot of people have what we call somatization. And somatization, when I talk to patients, they kind of get mad at me because they're like, you're just thinking that I'm making it up. No, it's trying to find out. We're asking you questions to find out if you're amplifying it by the way that you are thinking. Because if you think that you feel bad, it's hard to feel good. So part of that is attitude. Part of that is nutrition. Part of that may be medications, nutritionals, hormones, because as women, as we become wiser with age, they have hot flashes, but you know what? They can also have increased pain because their progesterone starts to decrease. Young women can also, they might have painful menstrual cycles because their progesterone's decreasing. And that's what causes these. So your hormones can be a factor. In addition, what you're eating, if you're eating a lot of sugar, you're causing inflammation in your body.
Right.
And so you can be in pain.
So just, you have to not just feeling bad. It's
Correct.
actual hurting.
Actual hurting. And it is, I always kind of think of it as, when I explain it, it's a bridge that is open, sending pain signals back and forth between the body part and the brain, and it will not turn off. So a lot of times what we'll say is with chronic pain is an open channel. Fibromyalgia is also an open channel, and we can tone that channel down just like a bridge coming down so that cars can go across it. We need to tone it down and hopefully get it into remission so that it stops sending that. And there's different medications that can do that. Unfortunately, a lot of the original starting medications can cause horrible side effects.
Anything that's going to have to cover such a wide thing is going to
Variety.
it's just going to basically dull your whole brain.
Correct.
You would think it's just like, here, drink this whiskey, and maybe that'll make the pain go away. Well, it makes everything go away.
And, I'm going to say, some of our more advanced patients and stuff like that, even, family members, they would drink a little thing, a shot of whiskey in order to feel better at night. Now, I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do, and I encourage you not to, because that's called self-medication, and we don't want you doing that. We want to find out what is the root cause, which is laboratories that can be run. If you're hurting all over, they look at an ANA and a SED rate. That just kind of tells me if there's inflammation, or a CRP, which is CRP, which is another protein that we're looking at to see if it's elevated. That tells me that there's inflammation going in your body. And once we get that information, and if it's positive, we're going to delve into a rheumatological panel, and a rheumatological panel might be looking for lupus, rheumatoid factor, Hashimoto's, that can also cause you to have pain all over. But we're looking for another word other than fibromyalgia to find the diagnosis so that we can treat the initial root cause.
Okay, now, is this pain going to be a dull ache, or is it going to be more of a sharper pain?
It usually is a dull, achy pain.
Okay.
However, you can also have sharp shooting pains because it's the nerve endings that are overly sensitized.
Right.
So some people will say it's like an electric feeling going up my arm or my legs. So anything that's electric, sharp shooting, those are usually a nerve pain.
Like when people touch you, more than rather than exercising kind of pain, it's more of a touching kind of contact pain.
It's a very light touch that is painful, that should not be painful to you. And there are actually words that are that type of description in medicine that it's hard to pronounce, much less spell on these things. But this is a pain that we want to have this hypersensitization to go away.
Yeah, no kidding. It would be so hard when you've got such an overall problem, hard for a doctor to really spend some time to try to narrow this down. I think it would just be one of the hardest things to figure out.
And it can be, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people, when they're referred to me by family members, friends,
you
or
get all
they've
the
heard
hard
about
stuff,
me.
let me tell you.
And it's fun because you're a detective, and so it's like they'll bring all this information, and the first thing they're going to say is like, "Are you going to order more lab work?" I'm like, well, "Let's see what you have first," because a lot of times the answer is already in there. But maybe they went to like what I'd call a super specialist, like an endocrinologist and a rheumatologist, and it didn't fit in what they usually do. So we're putting everything together, and that's why they call us functional integrated medicine. I just call it good old-fashioned medicine, is that we're taking care of you, the whole person.
Yeah, because endocrinologist is going to look at all your blood and all this kind of stuff, and they're going to look at this part.
The hormones.
They're going to look at all that, and then somebody else is going to look at all their specialty, and then somebody's got to look at all of
the
it
whole
and
picture.
put it all together.
The whole picture.
And that's what you do.
Correct. Because what if you have osteoarthritis from an old injury or just from the aging diameter? Well, that's your dull, achy pain. Then you have the sharp shooting pain. Then you might have headaches on top of that. Maybe it's a tension headache. Maybe it's a migraine headache. Maybe it's a cluster headache. So there's all these different types of pain. And the reason why I specialize in pain is because I was in a wheelchair for 4 years with rheumatoid arthritis. And, in order to get into remission, that is a constant way of life to maintain remission, to do all the things that we love to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I remember even working on cars. It was like, I have this problem. Okay, what did you change? What did you do? We go back and look at, okay, when did this problem start? What did you do to do that? And we look and did something change? And so same thing it's like your body. I mean, did you start taking this medicine and this problem appeared? And you just go back and just peel back all of the layers.
Peel back the layers like an onion. And like what you said, sometimes it's the timing. If it's the timing of that particular engine, your body is an engine, and it could be the timing of what you're taking in medications, when you're eating, some of the very simple things that's why we put a plan together, and then I give you a report card at the end of the month, because we want to go to a positive section of your brain, your life, so that you feel like you have control, and find out what you do have control, and then you and the doctor become partners in order to get you to a better place in life.
Yeah, the cool part about once you get through all this kind of a journey and you do get it, you're going to know a lot about yourself.
Yes, and that's what it's all about, is that usually the patient can really describe and diagnose themselves because they're the ones dealing with it. But if they're hung on one particular symptom, we've got to put all the symptoms together so that we can find the final diagnosis.
I remember just last year I started having some kind of weird itching and things like that, and I was like, wait a minute, I've never had this before. I started taking a different supplement.
Yeah. And it was a supplement.
A different company. And I was like, I never took the supplement. I started this itching. I was like, okay, I'll back off on this one. Guess what? Symptom went away.
Yeah, keep it. And that's why I always say keep it simple. And if you're a patient that has chronic illnesses or a chronic condition, you try to take a minimal amount of what you're taking. It's not necessarily that they want to overtake anything. They just want to feel better. And that's what we're here to do, is to help you feel better. Yep. So, fibromyalgia may not be fibromyalgia. It may be a symptom of an underlying diagnosis that we just have to find out what that is, and have the patients to work with you and you with the doctor to find out what that is.
Yeah, the main thing is when you start feeling symptoms or you start feeling different, people know especially when you get older, maybe an old fart like me, you get to know your body and you go, wait a minute, I didn't feel this way last year or last month, and am I getting old, or have I done something stupid?
Something silly. And that's why I always share with patients, when they keep a journal about what's going on with their body, I want them to keep a journal of what's going right, because otherwise they're going to concentrate on the negative and not the positive, and we just want to build more right days.
Right. It's just, you look back. So let's continue this on in the next one.
All right. I can't wait.
All right. So don't forget, folks, you can subscribe. You can look at info at Everyday Health Hacker if you want to send an email and be your question on the air. So that'd be kind of fun. But please subscribe. We really like it.
Yes. Please comment, subscribe, and we look forward to talking to you next week. Follow our playlist, and we look forward to seeing you soon.